Okay, so we're just sending this out, letting people know that we're coming live. This should be an interesting episode of the virtual tour as we continue to move down 3rd Avenue, which is the business district for Overtown. Continue to move down 3rd Avenue. Hello, Mr. Brandon, good to see you. Alicia Melton. We are here, so we're going to take a walk and talk about the many businesses along this 3rd Avenue corridor that exists. We did the south side of this corridor. We're coming on the north side. I want to point out 3rd Avenue was a very structured environment from Overtown. It was somewhat the heart of Overtown. We're right now walking by one of the longest businesses that still exist here. That's Reverend Williams Barbershop. I don't know if they're seeing anybody, you know, everything is coming back online, but Reverend Williams is a prominent pastor in this area. You got some people in here, just a few people want you to see. They're still in business. I'm going to float this camera around just a moment. Just want to give some shout outs to Reverend Williams Barbershop. They're in business here in Overtown. Been here for a long time. How you doing, brother? Very good shop that you can come to. That's a landmark in this whole district. Also his church, Greater Mercy, is here as well. Reverend Williams Church is as well as here. Very prominent person. Want to point out right across the street from us is Frederick Douglass Elementary. This is a new Frederick Douglass Elementary. They recently, in the past 2 years, knocked the original school down and rebuilt this state-of-the-art school here in Overtown, Frederick Douglass Elementary. Again, want to point out some of the new development that's here in Overtown, like this St. John's, I believe it's St. John's Towers or something to that level. This is a new building that exists here in the Overtown community. No, you can keep that. Oh, yeah, okay, I see what you're doing. You're coming back toward me. Cool. Facebook, Instagram. This is one of the new developments that's affordable housing. But sometimes you got to ask affordable for who? Very beautiful place. But what I want to point out right here, when I first came to work for the Black Archives, this area that I'm standing in right now was very near and dear to me. This whole slab of concrete was very important to me when I first came, because what used to sit right here on this corner of 12th Avenue and 3rd Street, Northwest 12th Avenue and 3rd Street, this slab of concrete, this was the old WMBM. This was the WMBM broadcasting station. It was a great, one of those type of radio stations that with a disc jockey, DJs from the window. If you ever watch, what is it, the movie, Spike Lee movie, Do the Right Thing, I believe it was, where the DJ was DJing from a window and he was seeing everything that happens while he was DJing. That's what it was right here on 3rd Avenue. I really hate that they knocked this particular structure down. Tried to save it, I argued for it, to leave the building standing. That was some 10 years ago, 10 years or more. They knocked it down anyway, and as you can see, nothing has been built on this site since they knocked it down. So what was the purpose of knocking down the building if you wasn't going to put something right away in the replacement? Because I found out in Overtown, and you will learn, that the land is valuable. They're not concerned about the buildings and the structures, Facebook and Instagram. It's always, and it always has been, about the land. The land is very valuable in Overtown, and that's what everybody wants, is the land. So who cares that it was WMBM? We just wanted that land. Now, it was a very unique building that existed here. Here, the window was still in place. It was blocked up, but it was still very important to me as a part of the fabric of black music. Anybody come on Facebook? Welcome Facebook. Welcome Facebook. If you're on, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook. Isaac is doing the camera for me. But I want to point out we're doing the second part of 3rd Avenue. Now, we're going to also just point out again, so you can see some of the new development. People ask about the new development in Overtown. This is one of those new developments. I still want to point out the shadow of downtown that still exists. If you can see all the high-rises and how close in vicinity the high-rises are to the Overtown community. You can see all of the high-rises from downtown out standing up. You can see the county building in the distance. This is how close downtown is to Overtown. But this particular building, St. John, affordable housing, I don't know the ratio of Overtown residents that was able to get a place in here. Well, it's a very beautiful building. I haven't been in any of the apartments, but I'm told that it is very nice in here. We're going to cross the street because right across the street here is another change in Overtown that has come along, and that's Gibson Park, named after Theodore Gibson. Theodore Gibson, Cardinal Theodore Gibson. We're going to just walk across, make sure we don't get hit by any cars. These changes have all happened in the last maybe 6 to 10 years. A lot of these changes have come up. Less than that probably. Want to get a front of Frederick Douglass Elementary here in the back. The old school used to sit on this lot, but it no longer sits here because there is a new school. Hello everyone, I'm gonna wave to my Facebook, my Instagram people. Anybody made any comments on Facebook? All right, we're just gonna wave back saying hello to everybody. Welcome to our virtual tours. We're back on the street, but I want to point out Gibson Park, which we have here. Turn the cameras on. Gibson Park, which is a major park. They have made some amazing changes and brought about a lot of money, millions of dollars to restore this park. Gibson Park is where the library sits as well. They have a state-of-the-art swimming pool. I don't know who's calling me while I'm on the line. The client Nate's call. Should be watching us and not making phone calls. Sorry about that. But they have a state-of-the-art swimming pool. I'm just going to fan the camera over so you can get some of this visual. Very beautiful park play area, as well as the swimming pool area. A little green space that they have here. It's like our little Central Park. Not only does Gibson Park have the pool area as well as the basketball gym that was built, they also have a state-of-the-art football field, which we're going to make into very soon. Thanks that we waited out the COVID-19 because the park is open. At one point it wasn't open, but the park is open for us to be able to walk through safely, practicing social distancing. There's not a lot of people in the park. At this time, really is nobody. I think I've seen 2 people sitting. But here you have a Purvis Young mural on the side of the library here, that's here in Overtown. The Purvis Young drawings on the side that represent Purvis. If you were part of our first virtual tour, you would have heard about Purvis Young, who was a street artist, a street painter that would paint on whatever he could find. He was a homeless street artist. Purvis paintings, at one time he was selling them for $5, $10, but now those paintings are valued at millions, thousands of dollars. Just to give you a heads up, the Black Archives at one time only had 13 pieces, and it was estimated at $2.7 million. Now we have 400 pieces. So Purvis, if you Google Purvis Young, you'll see what his art is going for on the internet. We see images of his paintings resembling on the side of the library here. And I just wanted to point out Gibson Park, which is in the shadow of, ironically, is in the shadow of I-95, 395. We have a plane going overhead. I want to point out the gymnasium here. That's a part of Gibson Park. But I just want you to walk. If you've never been to the Overtown community, which Overtown, for those that are not from Miami, Overtown is the historic black neighborhood in Miami.
What is your page on Instagram, Cheryl Brown?
Our page on Instagram, Cheryl Brown, is Balt, South Florida. It's Balt, B-A-H-L-T-S-O-F-L-O, Balt, South Florida. I don't know if any of my staff is on Instagram. If you can type that in. I'm going to see if I can do it here for my Facebook people. B-A-H-L-T-O-F-L-O. Seeing that? So it's Balt, South Florida. Balt, South Florida. If you can see that. I want to pin this back though. Oh no, it's still pinned. Okay, good. So, pointing out Gibson Park here. I want to point out this state-of-the-art football. I mean, it's an amazing field that's here in the middle of Overtown. I was stating that Overtown is the historic part of Black Miami. From 1896 to present, when the Miami was started, the founders of Miami designated the the west side of the tracks for people of color and the east side of the tracks for blacks. The west side of the tracks became Overtown, Colored Town at one time, but it became known as Overtown. They tried many times to change the name to Washington Heights, change the name to Comer, change the name to Overton, but the name Overtown really stuck with this neighborhood. Just wanted to point out this fabulous football field where a lot of your NFL players started here. A lot of Miami NFL players that you've seen started on this particular park at this particular field. They continue to have that happen on a regular basis during football season. But, you know, right now, COVID-19, everybody's practicing social distancing. But this is Gibson Park, a well-attended park. A lot of activities happen here. This is where we did our band camp. For the first 3 years, we had our band camp performance happening here at Gibson Park. We're going to move out of the park to go back onto 3rd Avenue, 3rd Street. It's 3rd Avenue. 3rd Avenue. I'm sorry. Definitely going to go back on 3rd Avenue. What we're about to pass right now in just a moment. We are about to pass Little Greenhouse. Little Greenhouse. We'll see if they'll allow us to come in, if they're open. If you were watching the news when Oprah came to South Florida, this is the restaurant that Oprah Winfrey came to, and they made the list for healthy eating. Oprah Winfrey was actually in Overtown at this restaurant called Little Greenhouse. So we are headed that way. We're leaving Gibson Park, and we're just walking on over to Little Greenhouse restaurant, where you have a lot of good food. Maybe the owners, maybe it's open, maybe it's not. I'm not sure. Because of COVID-19, a lot of restaurants still haven't come online yet. But we shall see. Well, at least we'll get to see the outside of Little Greenhouse. So if you're ever hungry, you're looking for some good food, healthy eating, Little Greenhouse is the place to be. Little Greenhouse is a restaurant that you want to try to be in. Let's see. We're about to see now. Is anyone open here? If they would even let us in. Let's take a look. All right. Little Greenhouse. Oh, it is open. I just want you to look at the hours of operation. Little Greenhouse. This is the restaurant that Oprah Winfrey was at. Let me put my mask on for a second. Just give me a moment to mask up and see if my good.
Go ahead.
Okay, Little Greenhouse is open. We just want to kind of point out this if you've never attended Little Greenhouse. I don't know if my good friend is in. Oh, I'm sorry, you can go back. Thank you, people. Hello, hello. Hola. So, they're kind of coming in like they're getting ready. Of course, they're practicing social distancing, saying stay at the desk. Trying to see if my good friend Nicole Gates. Nicole not in?
I'll be right with you.
Oh, Nicole Gates is in. Nicole
Yes,
Gates
one moment, please.
is here. So we're gonna take a moment just to see if we can just say hello to Nicole Gates, everybody. She is one of the owners for Little Greenhouse. Again, this is the restaurant that Oprah Winfrey came to and rated as one of the healthiest restaurants in Dade County. Even though they're cooking soul food, this is a place that you want to come and visit, and they're open during this time. So please, if you're able to come by and support this small business, please do. How you doing, sir? You got somebody who's supporting the small business, about to get something to eat from Little Greenhouse? All right. So definitely, we'll give a couple of more minutes. Anybody have any questions while we're waiting? Any questions on Facebook? You see Nicole Gates. We're going to come back. We are live on Instagram and Facebook, the Black Archives
Hello, everybody.
Field Trip Series. She's practicing safe. Got her shield on.
See, Tim, you could have warned me that I was live.
I'm sorry, we're taking a walk. We're walking down, and this week we're talking about Overtown businesses. So
Yes, we open up on Wednesday. We're so excited.
Okay.
So the security measures that Little Greenhouse Grill is going to have, we're going to have an automatic sanitizing station in the lobby. We're also going to have wipes by the door so that you're able to open the door, close it, and there'll be a touchless, cold touch trash can for you to dump those in. And then we believe in firm hand washing, lots of hand washing. So when preparing the foods, yes, we will be using gloves and serving the table, but in between that, we will be definitely washing hands because we want to make sure those gloves don't cross-contaminate.
All right.
So we're very excited to begin this new chapter, and we look forward to welcoming all of y'all back to Little Greenhouse Grill.
Thank you. Impromptu interview here with my good friend. Thank you so much, Nicole
Thanks.
Gates.
Bye, guys.
All right, so we're going to continue our field trip here. Thank you. So you heard it from the owner itself, Little Greenhouse, which is here in Overtown. I just want to get this side view so you'll see. Overtown is here. The businesses are open. Just a little further down 3rd, and we're going to keep our walk going. I hope we're not losing people on this, but I want to point out another development. As you can see, as you walk on it, I'm going to turn the camera, take off my mask again. I'm going to turn the camera just a little bit so you guys can see another development that has come online in the past 2 years possibly. I believe this is St. John's development, St. John's CDC. Another housing project, affordable housing project. And again, we always say again, always affordable for who? But this is St. John here, right across the street from the St. John Institutional Baptist Church. We're further down Northwest 3rd Avenue, which is also a historic church in the Overtown community, in this neighborhood. All right, in this neighborhood, St. John. Amazing thing about this is probably the only Art Deco structure in Overtown, this particular church here. I want to point out something that I always do when I do the walking tour. This church was built during a time that we were on the cusp of a nuclear war, the threat of nuclear war, and this church was designated as a fallout shelter. If you can see vaguely in that, I apologize that I didn't turn off the ring, but vaguely in the picture, that sign that says fallout shelter, this was a fallout shelter for if there was a nuclear war. St. John, I think they're doing some, because of the years of the church, I think this is a Browning architecture company that built this, but this is the only Art Deco style building. St. John, founded and built in 1906. This is considered like a Gothic style Art Deco edifice in modern detail. It was designed by Black architectural firm McKissick & McKissick. That's what it is. This building is on the National Register of Historic Places. It was during the days of Cullentown. You know, Overtown churches were just as popular. Overtown churches was just as popular as a nightlife entertainment. Blacks living south of Miami in the Coconut Grove and Liberty City to the north. They would always be travel to Miami's Cullentown to attend services. You know, like I said, it was registered on the National Historic Places Board in 1992. So we're going to keep walking. I hope my time is good. Oh, did I have, okay. Oh, all right. I lost my place with the comments. My comments were stuck on one thing. So, hey, everyone that has just joined us, that is still with us. Want to point out right now, this is the Overtown Youth. Hello, fellas. How y'all doing? All right. Where's your mask? Where's your social distancing at? Oh, you got it? Good, good. Look at the mask. Well, see, they done got the styling and the profiling on their mask. That's awesome, man. Awesome. But this is the Overtown Youth Center. Ironically, you have youths that are standing right here in front of what was the Overtown Youth Center. The Overtown Youth Center, that's supported greatly by Alonzo Mourning, is undergoing a expansion. They have closed and they're doing a big construction project now, where it's changing. You can learn about the Overtown Youth Center and what their plans are. I believe at their website. Overtown Youth Center sits right behind Gibson Park, right out on the other side of the football field. So definitely is a place to be. We're now coming along on the cusp of 14th Street. So it's funny because when you think about 14th Street, you think about Miami in its heyday. I would hear a lot of the pioneers talk about how Miami ended at 14th Street. So in 1896, 1900s, this would have been, What's up, man? This would have been the end of Overtown. You can see the sign. Let me see if I can get to 14th Street. You see the 14th Street there. This would have been the city boundaries at this time. But they would talk about how kids would steal mango trees in the city and run past 14th Street away from the police and eat their mangoes on the outside of 14th Street because they knew that the police could not follow them. Also want to point out, if you can see here, I-395 and its impact on the Overtown community. Again, we're on 14th Street and you can see the high rises from the downtown area that's overshadowing the Overtown community. But also you can see the expressway. Now you see these lots that are here. All of the lots that you see here, they were businesses back in the 1950s when they planned out I-95. These were businesses. This community was connected. But I had a professor, if I can give a shout out to Dr. Beulah Hemingway, she would always say there's nothing new under the sun. And again, what happened before is happening again. With the expansion of I-395, you now see them taking the land again from the communities in order to build this expansion. There was a store when I first came to Miami, there was a store that sat right on this corner that they took over by eminent domain and knocked it down in order to be able to build. You see the crane. So here we are again looking at the expressway coming over all over again, encroaching on this black community. That's why it's very important. They say Jim Crow had retired and turned everything over to his nephew, James Esquire. So if you don't know the law, you do to kind of repeat it in many senses, because here we are again with the expansion of the expressway. We're going further down. As you can see up under the bridge, if you look in the Black Archives collection, I hope you guys can hear me. In the Black Archives collection, it talks about when Anthony Range was the commissioner. They were talking about parks. How you doing? How you doing? They were talking about. All right. That's right. That's right. I don't have it. All right, appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thank you, man. So here you go again where you have buildings. You have buildings, the underpass. We talk about parks under the expressway. That never really happened. This has become expanded space. And now with the expansion of I-395, you see all the construction material. All of these houses on this particular street, mysteriously, somewhat burnt down. There was a church on this street. There was, I had some family housing that was on the street. There was a building on this corner, and all of it burnt down overnight a couple of years ago. We still don't know. They said it was burnt. Somebody, a homeless person, vagrant, knocked down or set a fire in them. Somebody set a fire in them, but ironically, it's very close. It's very close to where the expressway is being expanded. Very close to where the expressway is being expanded. So I don't know. I didn't think about here, nothing was under the sun. Same, different what? Day, exactly. If anybody has any questions, we're gonna walk. We're almost to the end of our walk today. But I wanted to point out, as we continue to walk down Overtown, you have many changes that begin to happen in this community, such as, if you can see, I'm going to point out the first supermarket in the area since before the riots, before the 1980 riots. This is one of the first supermarkets that recently came online in the past, it's been like 2 years? Quite possibly about 2 years. The True Value came online, and they built this great shopping space here.
Used to be Crown's supermarket.
Yeah, Pat Braylon, yes, by any means necessary, yes. So this great supermarket has come in, but I also want to I can't point out the supermarket without pointing out the existing businesses that you're going to see here behind me, the existing businesses in this community, which is Jackie's house, as well as the meat market that's right behind it, that still exists. So they're showing how these structures, how these businesses can still coexist, even though you have new business. Also want to point out the Jesse Trice Health System. Here's another building. I think this is Lotus House.
Yeah.
This is the Lotus House. That's a shelter for women that are homeless and have family, have kids. Right across the street. It was great that they have a supermarket right next to them. Many of you asked about the apparel that I wear. You asked about the Old Town shirts. If you stay with us just a little bit more, we're going to go and we're going to show you kind of the store that has these shirts. So if you're in the area, you see it safely walking this area. I'm walking this area. I do it all the time. With top value being here, as well as Two Guys Restaurant. And please don't get mad at me. Two Guys has a motto that they call themselves the home of the big ass shrimp. I didn't say it. It's their motto. So if you're looking for some fried shrimp, Two Guys is one of the places to go to get this meal, man. It's amazing. You have a beauty supply shop that's here. So there's many things here in Overtown from the net office. How you doing, stuff? Y'all making a movie? Nah, just online right now. Wanted to point out, you asked me about Donald's in? Donald not here. I want to show them the shop. This is the shop when you get to Overtown. You closing? Oh, this is the shop where you asked me about the Overtown shirts that I wear. This is the shop that has those shirts. So if you're in the area, oh, you got them up. All right. So now, wear these shirts. You see these. Apparently, you asked me about this material.
Shirts on the table.
Okay, I see one hanging here. You have your Overtown shirt here. You have your black Overtown shirts. This is where you come in to get Overtown paraphernalia. They have sweatshirts that say Historic Color Town. This is the shop that you can come to and you can get these shirts. They have them in all colors. Soon we'll have some of these shirts at the Black Archives. You can see me wear the one that says Towner every now and then. They have it in all kind of colors. You will see these shirts here, or very soon we'll have them also in the Black Archive. So you asked me about the shirts. I'm showing you where to come and get this nice Overtown stuff. This is at the what is the full right name of the shop? What's the name of the shop?
Sweet 10.
Sweet 10.
Sweet 110.
Sweet 110. You come and see who they gonna come see.
Urban Well.
Come see Urban Well. That's right. So thank you, appreciate it. We caught them just before they shut the doors. They have the shirts, so please, even if you want to order shirts and you're not from Miami, let us know. We'll get them and we'll get them over to you. So, as well as pants. You see they have it on the pants for women. So definitely, man, get that Overtown wear. We just want to walk to the edge. And hats. They have the Overtown hats. Oh, I didn't point out the hat. I want to let you know that he has the hats as well. So you have the hats as well. Sweet 110. So definitely, if you want that Overtown paraphernalia, please definitely let us know or come down to Overtown on Northwest 3rd Avenue to Suite 110. What I'm saying it right?
Sweet 110.
110. Suite
Urban
110.
Well.
Urban Well. Okay. Suite 110. Come on and be a part of it. So now, so here we go. We've walked today pretty far, right up to the Comer Center. There's much more about Overtown that you can find out about. Maybe next week we'll go even further and go to St. Agnes Church and St. Peter's Church and let you see some of the architecture in there. But Overtown is a magnificent place. This was the place that many people of color resided in Miami. Many people have good memories about Overtown, as well as there's been some bad memories of Overtown. When you talk about the Neville Johnson riots and things of that nature, where we protest the inequality of treatment of people of color. But Overtown is on the rise with the Historic Lyric Theater coming online, with the many churches that are in here, many of the anchor businesses that exist here, as well as a lot of the new development, as well as a lot of the new things that are coming online. Come back to Overtown, come and join us. I don't know if I have any questions by anybody, but I thank you so much for coming on a virtual tour with us, and we hope to see you on tonight with Lyric Theater MIA. We have the Lyric Live Living Room Edition, as well as on Saturday we have the Story Times in Color with thank you for a tour. Thank you, Miss Ebby Queen. We appreciate you. Color Stories in Color on Saturday. Then we come back Monday with our whole slate of activity again. Hope that we'll see you there. Keep in mind, we're getting ready to reopening. There's a possibility that we may be doing a Lyric Live. Don't quote me on this. We may be doing a Lyric Live on July 3rd. It may be outside. It may be an outside event. We're just gauging how things going to happen with this COVID-19. I'm putting it out there as executive director. You're hearing it from me first. There's a possibility. Keep your ears open that we may have an outside edition. We're going to practice social distancing, but we still letting people know that we're in business. Thank you so much. Thank all of you. You have a great evening, and we'll see you next week with virtual tours by the Black Archives History and Research Foundation of South Florida.